What? No lounge? So we've just pulled into Penong Old School site, and I'm trying to get an image of this little fella here. There's a bobtail. Don't come under the van, mate. Hey! I'm gonna have to obviously sort him out.
Is he underneath?
He's gone underneath, so we'll have to shoot him on by.
I worked for Native Animal Rescue a week after them, so I'll go and investigate.
Okay, you do that. Don't touch him. Get rabies. Looks like the bobtail and us are competing for the same bit of land. He's heading to where we want to actually park up, so Catherine's going to try and shepherd him out of the way. And the little fella is in here. There he is. So this is where we are. It's an old school site just outside Penong. In the distance, which we'll take a look at later at some point, there's a chimney. The last remnants possibly of that school. We're just off the road, so the air highway is just to the right. You might see a caravan just flicker past. And we're just here, just on the cusp of it. So we're going to stay here overnight. We had one overnight last night, which the place was okay. It was a little bit off the road, quite private. We slept really well. We did have a couple of issues actually within the last 24 hours. First issue is we had a little bit of a follow-on with the fridge problem. So the fridge we got going again. That was fine. That's been working okay once we sorted out the fuse, if I've not already mentioned. The fridge stuck on a display, and then the display just wouldn't do anything. You had no control over it. By chance I just took the fuse out and then back in again, and everything started working, so that was good. However, when we set off yesterday morning, and it was only within a kilometre or two, I'd noticed a bit of an issue. Take a look at this. It's a bit of a tape up job, but that vent for the fridge actually was coming loose at the bottom. Now that's stuck down with some decent gaffer type tape, and it's holding out quite well at the moment. We can always obviously retape it if we need to, but we had an issue with that. I can actually see some tape up above the vent actually. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some sort of grey tape flapping around in there. But anyhow, we didn't lose this grid. Obviously the ventilation outer coating, it'd have been a bit of a beggar if we'd have lost that. It's actually, there's an inner seal which is all plastic as well, so the outer, this is a fascia obviously, but then on the inner there's some screws. There's I think 4 or 6 screws, and part of that is where the inner seal has cracked at some point, whether it was when it was manufactured or whether it's from the heat. Not that we've had any hot temperatures on this trip, but at some point when it's been on its travels previous with us, maybe it's cracked and just got worse, and to the point now where it's come away. So that's an easy fix once we get back home. But you know, when I said we slept well last night, we did sleep well, but Catherine went to actually bring the bed up. It's an electric bed, and she went to bring it up this morning, and it went up so far and stopped and dropped, and we've realised what the problem is. I'll show you. So if you look up to the top left side, there's a motor. Now on that motor, that's that white box basically. From that motor there's a rod that would run all the way across to drive the other side of the bed. This is that rod where it would attach that motor. So that came loose and dropped out basically. So when Catherine was raising the bed this morning, she said she heard a bang. I was in the loo at the moment at that time, and she heard a bump, and then that rod was loose. It was hanging out on that drive, on the opposite side of the drive side of that motor. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to do, there's a shield. That white box basically can detach. It's only got screws on it. So I'm going to take the screws off and just see if there's a way of remounting that rod and then placing it onto the other side there. Slight issue being is that that rod is only a certain length obviously, and there must be some way of putting it into that motorized box, and I'm thinking that it has to pull out a little bit to attach to the other side. Otherwise, I had a little play with it earlier, and once it seems to be in, it's not long enough to get to the other side. So I'm going to have a play with that now and see if I can potentially fix it. I've only got limited tools with me, so end of the day, if it's an issue, it just means that the bed is permanently down and we have no lounge. We don't have a lounge.
Not much we can do.
It's not really a problem, is it? But we're making it out as if it's a bit of a problem, really.
What is a problem?
And Murphy's Law, we are more than confident that we don't have any more or any warranty left running on the motorhome. So this will be a paid job, and we'll find out how much that costs when we get back home. Maybe I can fix it myself, but it would need checking over properly, really. So if I can get it to work temporarily, fine. If not, it'll go to the workshop and get fixed by the professionals. Not me, that is, by the professionals. Oof. I think I've got a bit of a sweat on. Fixed. That bed lift is fixed. I'll show you what's what, and then I'll explain what I did to fix it. So that pole, what goes from, this is the non-drive side, you can barely see any gap. Well, we had about a 20mm gap and could see part of the rod that operates this this side of the winch. That's the drive side. Now hopefully you can see, I had to take the casing off just to get to the inner of this, but if you can see that white plastic, that's where the other side of this cross member is driven from this motor. And there is, hopefully you can just see on the underside, a grub nut. Well, that grub nut had actually worked itself quite loose. It was, let's just say, finger tight, and that was obviously enough then for that to drop this morning, to come out of position for that cross member. We've just repositioned it now. As you can see on the other side I mentioned, it's well into the non-drive side, and then we've actually, you can actually undo that grub screw, which is pretty much was undone, and then slide that pole out, the inner pole, the driving bit to it, that hexagonal shaped rod. We just actually slid that out into the drive side and then reattached or tightened up that grub screw. And with that, we've just done a test. So we've brought the bed all the way up, well, nearly, because I didn't want to go contact any of those motor wires. And then we've just gone all the way back down, and it's working. It's level. We're good to go. So we've actually fixed it ourselves within about a 15-minute inspection and remedy. So we're both happy with that. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, very happy.
We'll sleep well again tonight.
Up on the Nullarbor, and with the little toolbox, didn't need many tools, did it? An Allen key and a screwdriver, really.
Yeah.
A bit of noggin.
Yeah.
It's sorted.
Yeah. Whose noggin did we use? I think we used both combined, didn't we?
Yeah.
We're being very conservative about that.
Yeah.
Catherine's the brains, I'm the brawn. And that's outside. What were you going to say? But
in a way, it's good for these things to happen, especially on a shorter trip. To, you know,
we'll learn.
To learn, and yeah, we sort of know how it works and sorted it. It's better than a trip down to the dealership and being charged a fortune, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Anyway, the manufacturers didn't do it right in the first place, so and the dealership clearly didn't pick it up either.
If you can see a circlip there, all that would take is a couple of things. Either another circlip on the outer, closer out to where that little grub screw is, Allen grub screw, and then that would stop the pole coming back on itself, or just have another grub screw or two more just to really sort of pin it in. So if one was failing, at least the other two should still pin it in. Not rocket science, is it? Anyhow, as anyone with a Sunliner Tone or Sunliner Motorhome, have you had similar problems? If you do have a bed like ours, the electric bed that goes up and down, and you've had issues like what we've explained, this might actually help to fix it. So Catherine's compiling a list of little repair jobs we need to do.
Little repair things and things we need to have or do from the trip.
Okay. Mentally, for me, ventilation outside for that fridge will need possibly a new one. What else do we have? Oh, in the background there you'll see maybe the oven range or the oven top. One of the burner doesn't spark, and I think I've had a look just recently. We're pretty confident it's actually just electrical wiring. Something's either disconnected or has failed. So 2 burners work out of 3, so we're okay.
It automatically, the gas still comes through, but we do know that they did, all 3 did work.
They did, yeah.
Light up automatically when we got it, but it's something's disconnected or whatever, or part failed.
Yeah, but that'll be an easy enough fix. That's something pretty straightforward, I imagine. I'm not an electrician, but from my sparse knowledge, I reckon it's something like that. And I think that's about it really, isn't it, for little things to remedy. I'm actually considering, I don't know what would be the easier fix up there. I'm thinking of cutting another groove in there for another circlip, put another circlip on to stop that thing backing back out on its own if that grub screw fails. So that's what I might do. Yes, the bed is actually a little bit unkept at the moment, but we're just going to show you a bit of a before and after. So when bed is down and fixed now, and then we're going to put our lounge back together, which is basically 4 big sofa backs, and then we'll show you with lounge intact. And finally we have a lounge, so all good. I don't think there's any plaques or anything to describe what we're seeing exactly, but I think it is, well, it's supposedly Cohen old school. There's actually like a post box or something. I'll show you in a moment or two. A few etchings into there. And that's it for that building. There's some nice old trees here, old gnarly, pretty much dead tree in front of us there. And this is that little post box cum whatever it is. It's like some people be making some sacrificial offerings. What's that about? But that tree is gorgeous for photographing. It's quite nice light at the moment. With a nice composition, that would look alright. I'm just stepping over a fence I nearly tripped over it first time round before Catherine said watch out for it. But that looks really nice. There you go, what a lovely little scene that is. We've got a lovely scenic evening ahead of us. The sunset will actually set in about 15-20 minutes. It's not far off actually. But we've got quite a few people sharing the site. Safety in numbers and all that.
Seeing him doing his potatoes in foil on the fire. Forget what, yes, that's how you can do jacket potatoes, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And you've got oven.
Just like the good old days. Bonfire night and jackets, tatties, spuds.
No. Come on. Yeah, it's all about the food.
So if we manage to get some nice glowing reddish clouds with a nice sunset, I will film it. Otherwise you'll see us moving on in the morning. This chap by me, he looks like he's leaving now. They're just ahead of us. I'll show you where we were or are, and he's maybe considered this area maybe not the best, or he wants to move maybe to a slightly better spot. There, just behind me. He was just to the side, so I think he's just trying to get a nicer little spot. So it was there, spinning it around. He's coming back over to us. Maybe he just wants to reposition himself. And we're over here to the right, which looks really far away, but you'd be talking 100 feet, if that. There, he's just behind. So I don't know what benefit he's got from that, because he's pretty much gone into exactly the same place he's just come from. What's he done?
He's turned round.
What, so he's driven in?
Yeah, his ute was at the front.
Okay. So it would be nice if we can get a nice little bit of colour in that westerly direction, just to get some nice cloud, pinking cloud if we can, for sunset. If it happens, like I said, I'll film a little bit. So this track we're on here, it carries on way into the distance, possibly as far as you can see on the horizon. And I'm hoping for this potential nice sunset. But over that way, where the sun is setting, there's not much in the way of clouds. All the clouds are actually behind me. So I'm hoping the clouds behind, they start getting a bit of coloration. So if I get a bit of colour, I'll film it. And by the way, I haven't seen any bobtails since we first arrived. We just saw that one big old truck coming through. So the road is only maybe 300 meters over that way. It might be actually quite noisy, even though we are a little bit off the road. Lots of trucks have passed us by through this afternoon, so it's been quite busy. Another truck going by. Did you see a flash of white? That was the truck if you did see something. I'm having a really bad hair day today. You're not saying much, Bronte? Nothing to say? Well, the sunset is setting in the distance behind me, but let me just change the exposure on this. Now that looks really dark. It's not this dark at the moment. I look really underexposed in this shot. There you go, exposing back for me. So we'll see if I get some nice coloration in the clouds. I'm still quietly confident. So look at that. Someone's enjoyed a stack of oysters and kindly left us the remnants in the field here. Now, that's not very good, is it? I've come back to this old ruin here just to actually compose hopefully quite a nice footage of this scene, with hopefully a little bit of nice coloration from the clouds as the sun sets. So I'm just going to hang around here for the next 10 minutes or so just to see what happens. And those clouds in the sky are just disappearing as well. So maybe a bit of a damp squib tonight for any half decent sunset. There's been so many trucks go by since I've been filming back there. There's some really big machinery on their prime movers. Oh, I've just stood on something sharp. Normal services have been resumed. Oof. Yeah, I've seen loads of trucks. I'm saying loads. Maybe 6 or 7 have gone by with big plant machinery on them. So I'm just going to go roadside just to see if we can catch a few on camera. That's us for the night. Yep, being let down by the sunset. I must have waited there a good 5-10 minutes actually just to see if there's any trucks go by, and just the caravana, that was it. So I'm going to call it a draw. You know, when you fantasize about a really nice sunset with your van in shot, this is what I've got. Not had one really nice sunset in I don't know how many nights, unfortunately. Never mind.